Okay, so hi again, everyone. Thank you so much for attending this private view of this virtual online exhibition. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tracy Eastham, and last year I set up Art School by Subscription, which is an online art school, and it contains all of the classes and the lessons that I have been teaching in art schools for the last sort of 10, 15 years, except online and in a subscription model. So people can pay monthly and they get access to, basically they get access to art school for a low monthly fee. I was looking to grow a different community online, and I was looking to do something for myself rather than be in the mainstream education system, which I was starting to be ready to break out of a little bit. So that's why I started up Art School by Subscription. And it was today, exactly a year ago, I think it was at like 10:57 in the morning. I've written it in my diary because I was so excited when it happened. But 10:57 a.m. this day last year, I got my first paying subscriber, my first artist who took a chance on me. This exhibition is to celebrate one whole year of my art school. Since then, we've grown as a community. I've got more than one student now, which is a big relief. But everyone that joins me is a big yes, a big success for me. It feels very successful for me, and it gives me a lot of joy and happiness. So this exhibition celebrates all the people who have joined me in the last year. I opened it up to all my paying subscribers, and some of the artists put work in, and I got a colleague of mine who's very experienced, a specialist in designing these virtual exhibitions to generate a gallery for me, and we have populated the gallery with artwork. So for tonight's private view, I'm going to shortly pass over to our guest of honour, artist Lisa Wigham, who's based in the Northwest, not too far away from where I'm based. She's going to say, she's going to give a little speech, and then she's going to pass back to me. I'm going to give you a tour of the virtual gallery. We're going to have a look round, have a look at the artwork. And then at the end, I'm going to give you the link to the website so then you can explore it on your own devices, on your own phones, laptops, computers, whatever. So I hope that sounds good. I will now pass over to Lisa, who is our guest artist. I'm really honoured that Lisa agreed to give her time up for this exhibition. She's an artist. She's based at Market House Studios in Fleetwood. She's a very experienced artist who in 1997 started the 2 a.m. press to make books and prints. And I took this from her website as portable works of art with democratic intent, which is, I just love that. She runs a lot of workshops and she's completed commissions, residencies and projects. Quite recently, including the Art and Science in Residence at the Mount in 2023 with fellow artist Tina Dempsey. And she's currently running an enamel sign painting workshop at the Market House Studios, Morecambe, which is where she's currently based. Sorry, is it Fleetwood? I've got that wrong, haven't I? Sorry, Lisa, me getting confused. Fleetwood, not Morecambe. Lisa has supported me, myself, throughout my own art career. And I remember actually going to see her in her studio just over a month ago to talk about my exciting plans for my art school when I was still feeling very nervous about it all. She's very knowledgeable about the art industry, the importance of art and creativity and skills to society as a whole. And she's also been successful with Arts Council funding applications. So for me, she's just like a shining star in the sky. And I completely hold my hat off to anyone who is successful with Arts Council funding applications. So like I said, I'm really honoured to have Lisa here. So Lisa, I'll pass over to you if you'd like to say something.
Oh, thank you for that lovely introduction, Tracy. That means a lot to me because it's just really nice to get feedback, especially from a colleague like yourself, who I really respect, setting up the art school online. And it's something that, yeah, I think I'll take these off, it's reflecting, but yeah, it's something that's a challenge, but I know it's very rewarding. So thank you for inviting me to open your exhibition, and I salute you all for, you know, for committing to doing this programme. I've worked as an artist for nearly 35 years, and like Tracy said, I exhibit and teach workshops to adults and children. But no matter what the stage of any of our careers are, exhibitions don't just happen every day. So today's a special day. Exhibitions take a lot of effort, not just to create the work that's involved in it, but also for the time and the technical support, because we as artists need other people to help us too. So I think it's wonderful that you've got this online platform now, which is just amazing. It's wonderful. So it brings you together as a community, and this is rare and it's important. And it's also important because, not just because it brings a creative community together, but it's important for you to take the opportunity just to step back and evaluate your own artistic achievements. So I hope you enjoy making tonight a special occasion too. So Tracy told me a bit about the process that you follow to set your own individual paths throughout the course to develop your creativity. So you've each set intentions for the development of your artistic practice, with your own goals. And I know that fulfilling this is not always easy, and it's not always straightforward. And being an artist can sometimes feel illogical in this turbulent world, with different emphasis on careers in more commercial directions. And it's challenging, but no matter what the stage of our artistic careers are, we all have to dig deep in ourselves somewhere to be persistent and keep trying new things to achieve our goals. So this is where the value of experimentation is key. And I know that that's a part of the course that Tracy really enhances. So as a creative exercise, experimentation helps us to not only sort of try new techniques and materials, but concepts. And in that, we can embrace elements of chance or randomness, which is really valuable to lead us to unexpected outcomes and innovations. True creativity can help us experience life in general with enhanced wonder and curiosity. And some say that it's imperative for a life well lived. So I hope you can feel these benefits, especially when it's a struggle at times to keep the commitment going. This course encourages trying new techniques and cultivating these breakthrough moments. So when you're looking at the exhibition, take some time just to reflect on all the hours that you spent making your work and the journey you took to find your own creative voice. So I will now announce the exhibition open, and in that I'd just like to say, keep pursuing your artistic growth, enjoy the process and be brave, because creativity is not just about the work we make, but about the richness it brings to all our lives, and in that the lives of others. So thank you, congratulations. I raised my glass of fizzy water, but cheers everybody, well done.
Thank you, Lisa. That was so lovely. Honestly, I've written a few things down actually. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much. Some really nice points in there. What I particularly loved from what you said is cultivating breakthrough moments. I'd not really thought about that in particular, but those breakthrough moments are so important, aren't they? I've often talked about the shifts that we have in our art practice, and that it's very normal to sort of change our ideas and sort of shift from doing one thing to doing another, and that's good. It can be difficult, but that's usually a good thing, and we should allow that to happen. But phrasing it as a breakthrough moment, I really like. And then just that last thing you said about creativity brings richness to our lives. That was a really nice point. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you very much. Okay, so since Lisa has officially opened it, I'm going to share my screen. And here we have the exhibition. So I hope you can all see that. Yes. Ooh. This is our virtual exhibition. I'll just close that down so we can see. It's called Gaining Wings because one of my students, Pam, who's here actually, made a lovely comment that since joining my art school, it feels like her artwork is gaining wings or something like that. So, and that's really stuck with me. So I titled the exhibition after that. A first year showcase, because I know there's going to be other showcases, a second, third year showcase. Like I said before, it's to celebrate the first year of the art school by subscription. This gallery was designed by a colleague of mine, and it's actually based on a real gallery in Atelier called Atelier in France, which I think is doubly exciting. And basically what you can see here is there's circles on the floor. You can click those circles and it'll take you round the exhibition. There's also a little map symbol down here on the left, bottom left-hand side. You can click that. That brings up a map, and you can click on areas to go in the gallery. So I'll go back to where we were. We'll move forward into the space. And here we have the first room. I'll just show you around. I'm basically just using my mouse to move around the space. So an important thing which some of you will have noticed quite straight away is that the artworks aren't to scale. The artworks don't represent the actual real life scale of the artwork. But that's because the purpose of the gallery is to show the work off to its best light. So, for example, I know that this artwork by Pam is actually quite small because it's in her sketchbook. And if it was represented to scale, you wouldn't really be able to see it. So let's have a look at the artwork. First of all, we have artwork by Frances Dimmer. This is called Sheep Shift, and it's photo collage on paper from this year. And she did this in response to one of our monthly live themes. So every month we have a live session where I give out a theme, which the artists then work on over the following month. And then at the next live, we all get together and we talk about the results. So the theme for this artwork was spring. And Frances was fascinated by the sheep that she saw on her walks, but in particular it was sheep behind fences. So she was quite interested in that idea of entrapment and enclosure and the contradictions with what we commonly see sheep represented as, which is the start of spring and freedom and youthfulness. So I love this artwork because it's full of sort of contradictions, both formal contradictions in the sort of tone and subject matter, but conceptual idea-based contradictions as well. Innocent, youthful lambs and those ideas of entrapment as well. So that's the work by Frances Dimmer. We can move on to the next artwork now. So this is an artwork by Rebecca Blake, and it's acrylic and pencil on plywood. And it's a scene of an imposing house, and it's very gestural, it's very expressive, and we've got this lovely pathway that's bringing us in, and lovely bright, bold colours in this artwork, which is lovely. There's a little link there to Rebecca's Instagram profile, which you can follow to see more of her work. Next artwork here, we've got Angus Rhodes, and this piece is called I Can't Ignore My Inner Voice, mixed medium, acrylic and watercolor, 33 by 48 centimeters. That gives you an idea of the scale in real life. What I really like about Angus Rhodes is Rhodes's work is this, I guess, this juxtaposition between sort of a flatness, because his work is evidently like purely abstract artwork. So it's evidently paint on paper. It's got that flatness, which we associate with abstraction. But he also sort of teases these little hints of sort of spatial depth of various types. Sometimes when we look at his work, it's almost like the depth or space in the universe. Sometimes it's the spatial depth of maybe like a sort of rolling meadow or a landscape. And there's a word which comes to mind when I look at Angus's work, and that's flickering. They seem to flicker a little bit between complete flatness and that sort of flickering sense of depth, which I think is quite exciting. Okay, next work we have is Pam Cavendish. Like I said, this is actually a page from a sketchbook, so obviously it's a lot bigger than it is in real life. Pam has forged a very close relationship with journaling with her artwork, and that drives a lot of her creativity. So in images like these, which is a shot of her screenshot, of her sketchbook, like I said, we've got text, we've got a collage, we've got drawing materials, mediums. But what I particularly love about this one is just this simple blue gestural swirl here, which seems to highlight that plant part at the same time as going over a little bit. So there's it's just a really lovely image that we can see lots of things in. And that's called Life Without Creativity is Dead. And I've been working with Pam a little bit closely over the last couple of months. And I think what's coming out for me about Pam's work is the undercurrent political element in her work. Pam, I think, has got not just something to say, but she's got something to fight for a little bit. And I can see her work becoming a bit more political as we progress further. I'm going to try and tease that out of her a little bit more. Okay, and then I had to include a picture of one of my own works. I thought it was unfair to ask everyone else to do it, but not put one in myself. So this is one of my cutouts. It's a gold paper cutout, which is from 2016, from Cabbages to Kings. And this came from a period when I was interested in ruins. Ruins, like architectural ruins, so you can see this sort of ruined cathedral-esque structure, but I was also interested in ruin of nationhood, you know, the ruin of countries and fallen nations as well. On a much more happier note, we have this wonderful artwork by Marion Bayliss, called Chasing Waves, and you can't sort of resist the joy in this artwork. It's just so full of joy and freedom. You know, it just makes me happy looking at this. I personally have a weakness for collage and paper anyway. But this, I just can't resist this painting. It's just so full of happiness and joyful abandon and beautiful colors. And I just love the simplicity of the fact that the sky is just made out of squares of cut up paper. But it just fits so well. It works so well as an artwork. And that's called Chasing Waves. Next artwork we have here is by Alison Ragg. Now Alison has recently sold a few artworks, which I have to mention because it's such a brilliant thing when people sell artwork. But here's one of hers called Reflections of the Water's Edge, mixed media with encaustic wax. Now, I've got to admit, I've not actually used encaustic wax with artwork before, so I'm very intrigued. And I'd love to know more about how Alison makes these. But there's a really wonderful feeling of texture and depth, and love the color scheme in here. And that's piece that she made this year. And again, there's a little Instagram link if you'd like to see a little bit more of what Alison makes. I love this bit of found or sourced media here, like a net or something at the front. That adds something. Next artwork we have is a second piece by Angus Rhodes, this time called The Wandering Steps. And again, we see that, as I call it, flickering between a sort of very abstract, pure flatness and those flickering suggestions of spatial depth. And you know, you might look at this and think, oh, it's a cloudscape, or you know, our eyes sort of want to try and see things in it. Angus's work is almost like a sort of, it's like a I don't know, a little bit of a fight almost between that need in us to see depth or landscape or a scene, and a desire to just have pure, you know, celebration of color and form. Okay, so that's that room. Just going to go to the map and we'll look at the final space. Here we have the second space. Okay, so let's look at this first artwork and the second one by Pam. So her first one was the sketchbook artwork. This one's completely different, called The Sick Brown Fox. But you still see some of those journaling elements that are coming through, these bits of text which make up the fur of the animal. And this is watercolor and pen, so she's still using that element of mixed media. And for me, again, this has her undercurrent of a political message. There's a bit of a fight here in this artwork. It's an undercurrent, you know, because on the face of it, we've got a lot of beauty, and I love the colors of the fox. The composition of it cutting through the moon is wonderful. So a really accomplished work of art from Pam. Not for sale, support your wildlife trust. There we see the political angle coming through, which is good. I love it. I want to see more of that. So this is an amazing artwork by Kay Barrett. So Kay joined us quite recently, actually, and I had to really persuade her to put a work in, and I'm so glad she did, because the colors are just fantastic. This is called Ending Day, and it's paper tissue collage with bleach in parts and sponge printing in the foreground. So really good effort from Kay. Love this artwork. And again, this piece isn't that big in real life, you know. Aaron, the gallery curator, has made it bigger on the wall, but I'm so glad he has, because you can see all the wonderful detail, the textural detail in it, the bits of paper stuck on, the sort of little slithers as they go away towards the horizon line, the suggestions of a distant mountain, and all these sponged details on the front. Again, another artwork that you could just keep looking at. Really beautiful artwork from Kay there. This artwork, another very accomplished artwork, is the second piece by Rebecca Blake. Totally different, I'm sure you will agree, than her first one, which was the house with the sort of spring splatters at the front. This is obviously a dog portrait, coloured pencil on pastel matte, but we can all admire the attention to detail and the character and the composition. There's just nothing wrong with this piece, is there? It's spot on. And last but very much not least is this stunning artwork by Natalie Wardak. So monumental it looks, and again, it's not this big in real life. I have actually seen it in real life, and it's not this big, but boy does it suit being this big. I would love Natalie to do a massive canvas which actually filled the wall in the way that this one does. Natalie is really interested in history. Her interest in history drives her a lot of her artwork, and this is called The Fallen Elephant. A view of a lost time off the coast of Hartlepool once stood the majestic Elephant Rock, and this is my impression of its memory. So I'd actually never heard of the Fallen Elephant Rock off the coast of Hartlepool, but Natalie's told me about it, and apparently there was a rock formation which resembled an elephant, which used to be stood, and then it collapsed and has over time been slowly sort of collapsing even more. But in this representation, we can still see the suggestion of the elephant in a collapsed, sort of lying down state. So I really find this artwork really interesting because at one time it's quite melancholic, it's quite sad, but it's also just very serene. It's just so calm and serene, and beautifully observed colours in all the rocks. Because let's face it, rock is a difficult thing to represent in art mediums. But Natalie's done a really good job here. She's really got that feeling of weather worn, part collapsed, ocean wave beated rocks. So she's done a really good job with this artwork. That's mixed media acrylic, watercolor, and chalk pastels. Okay, so there we have it. That's the show. I'm sure you'll agree that the artists have done an amazing job. I'll move back here and finish on this view here, which is a stunning view. Yeah, and I just want to extend my thanks again to Lisa for doing such an amazing job with her speech there and inspiring us so much. I'll just stop sharing it briefly. Sorry, I've got lost there. Thank you to Aaron. So this gallery was constructed by Aaron, who used his technical wizardry to create it, and I'm absolutely over the moon with it. I think it looks amazing. Thank you, of course, to my wonderful artists who all submitted something. Thank you, anyone else who's chosen to join us here tonight. Thank you for joining us. Lisa, did you want to say anything else before I end the meeting?
Oh, well, I just look forward to seeing the exhibition next year, actually. And I'm really pleased that this is up and running as an art school, and Tracy's doing a fantastic job. So I'm looking forward to being involved in the future. It'd be great to be involved and see more of the work that's made. So keep on making. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa. I'd love you to be involved more, and I too look forward to next year's exhibition. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. I have put the link to the gallery in the chat so that you can have a look at it on your own devices. So please do, and you can share it with your friends and family or whatever you'd like. It is going to be open to the general public from tomorrow, so we can start sharing it far and wide and get our artwork out there. So yeah, I'll wrap up the meeting now. Thank you so much for enjoying us. I'm going to say goodbye, leave you to explore the exhibition yourself. So enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.